Hi everyone, I'm Niranjan and this is a board game named Techno Code Wars. It is a multiplayer game. It is based on futuristic science, coding, and algorithms. So obviously you need to have some prerequisites before playing this game. So the minimum age restriction is 10 years and above. Unless you're a 7-year-old who can understand complex algorithms, then I won't question you. Please feel free to play. So now two teams can play. There are two teams, the green team and the purple team. Now you can play it two ways. So each team will have one player and one player controls both the characters. Or each team has two players and each player controls one character. So these are the two ways you can play. So this game, it is a mixture of strategy and randomness. So your resources are given at random, your codes are given at random, and based off what is randomly given to you, you must strategize and come up with the perfect ability to win the game. So this is the map of the board game. So it's a strategic yet a random board game. So it focuses on random elements, but you still have to strategize based on what you are given. So this is the map of the board game. So as you can see, it is similar to a chessboard, except it's a 10 by 10 square grid. Now these are code spaces. So I'll get more into them later. Now this is the Code Wars kit. So if we open it, we take a look at it, and now we have cards. We have a lot of cards with different abilities. So I'm just gonna place them here. And now, as you can see, there are two teams. We got the green team with the green flag, and that goes here in this corner. It can be any corner, not really particular. And now we have the purple flag, which goes in the opposite corner of the board. Now we have few characters. This is supposed to be a robot. So it has a robot with the label 2 on it, and it goes here. So there are a total of 2 robots. This is robot 1, and it goes here. Now we have the green robots, 2 of them. So they go here and here. Now this arrow mark points the direction at which they move and they shoot. Now we'll get more onto that later. And we have a barrier block, which goes anywhere in the middle. That is decided by the players playing the game. And we have portals, 2 portals, which is also decided by the players before they start the game. So we got the barrier in place, and now we begin the game. Okay? These are loops. I'll get into them later, so while playing the game. Alright, so we begin the game. So let's get into the game. So one of the players from each team. So this, by the way, this game can be played by 4 players or 2 players. That is 2 players in each team or 1 player in each team. So the team starts. So one person from the first team, let's say the purple team is the first team. So they pick a card and it says move. So you take this move and you put it into the code space, any code space. You can put it in the code space of robot 1, or you can put it in the code space of robot 2, which controls their respective robots. So you put the card into the code space and your turn is over. And now on to the other team. The other team picks a card. Now this is a special ability card. That is, it's a shield card. Whoops, I picked 2 cards there. Okay, so this is a shield card. It's an ability card, and that has a special reserved place in the corner of the code space. So it's an ability card, and it's the only ability card for now. So we can definitely add some features. And now their turn is over, and now to this team. So now this team has 2 options. One, they can run their code. They can run their code and move the robot 2 just 1 step forward. This is they can do this, or they can take another card and use a connector and connect both the both the cards. Doing either of this ends your turn, and you cannot edit as well as move at the same time. You can either run the code once during your turn, or you can edit your codes. Your turn is over nonetheless. So each team inside this code kit, each team is given with one big loop and one small loop. So these are loops, they have the same function. So let's say I want to loop these two. So turn right and move. So a loop runs maximum 5 times. So when I move robot 2, it moves once, it turns right, it moves once, it turns right, it moves once, it turns right, and so this iteration repeats 5 times. Okay, so same with the bigger loop. It just the bigger loop allows you to have another card in between, so that's why we decided to provide 2 loops. And now basically the objective of the game is to get your robot all the way to this side of the base, capture the enemy flag, and return all the way back to your base and deliver the flag. The first team to do this wins the game. So as we can see in the map, we got barriers, which are these orange blocks, and we have portals. So what the portals do is that, let's say there's a robot and it moves into a portal. Now it automatically teleports to this side, this portal, without changing the direction. As you can see, they're facing the same direction and the direction doesn't change. Now what the barrier does is nothing much. It acts as a barrier and it restricts movement. So once you run your code and you come across a barrier, your code automatically terminates and the robot will stay there. Alright, so these are the different cards provided in the deck of cards in the package. So we have shield, we have turn right, we have turn left, we have U-turn, we have shoot, move twice, move thrice, and life +1. So among these cards, shield and life +1 are ability cards. They give you abilities. And the other are code cards, which you can use for actually building your code. So as you can see, these actually give movements and they define a movement for your robot, whereas these two give abilities. So I'm gonna explain how the shoot mechanism works, okay? So let's say in this situation, we have the robot 2 of green team is facing the robot 2 of purple team, okay? Now, let's say I'm green and I take my shoot card and I place it in the code space. Now, my turn is over. I have to wait for the purple team to make a move. And let's say they just turn their robot right, okay? Now it's again my turn. Now, I can choose to run my code. I don't press run. I manually run myself, okay? So now the code is being run. So I shoot a bullet, okay? The bullet travels 4 blocks exactly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the enemy is in range and therefore he loses a life. Now as you can see, this is robot 2. So we go to the code space of robot 2 and 1 life is deducted and it's remaining with 2 lives. My bad, 2 lives. I beg your pardon. Now, suppose the robot 2 has a shield. And now, if I shoot, the shield gets removed and you still have 3 lives left. Now, if all the 3 lives of a robot are gone, the robot is not eliminated, but rather it is respawned at this area. Sorry, that's the green team. It is respawned at this area or this area, depending on where the player wants to respawn it. So that is how the shoot mechanism works, and let's look into the other moves. So we have U-turn. The U-turn just U-turns the robot. We have shield. Shield is an ability card and it only goes here. We have turn right, which turns right. It turns the robot right to its perspective. Now we have turn left, which turns the robot left to its perspective. We have move. Move moves the robot once, 1 square. Move twice moves the robot 2 squares. And U-turn, as I say, it just U-turns. And move thrice moves the robot 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. And we have +1 life. +1 life is an ability card. Let's say this robot has only one life left, only one life remaining. Now if I get the life 1 ability card, then I can add an extra life, and now I have 2 lives left. Suppose it's green's turn, okay? Now I'm gonna explain how the shoot mechanism works. So we see that the second robot, the robot 2, is facing robot 2 of the pink team. So it's green's turn. So I'm gonna go to code space of robot 2, and I'm gonna place the shoot mechanism here, and I'm gonna connect them using a connector. And my turn is actually over. Now I have to wait for the other team to play and edit their code. And now let's say it's my turn. They have played their move, and let's say the robot moves 1 square. Okay, now it's my turn. Okay, now I run my code, so it moves 1 step and it shoots. Now it shoots. So a bullet travels 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly 4 blocks of distance. Okay, so any enemy or robot in the range gets shot. So if now, as we can see, robot 2 is getting shot, so 1 heart gets depleted, and it's remaining with 2 hearts, that is 2 lives. Now if 3 lives are gone, the robot gets eliminated and it's out of the board. Okay, now let's say the robot 2 has a shield card. It's a special ability card that gives you a shield. Okay, so if a shot is fired on a robot having the shield card, the shield gets removed and you retain all your 3 lives. Yes.